pressed record, so now we're actually recording, and I'm not editing this. So don't say anything you want me to cut, because I'm not going to.
Okay.
Okay, this is bonus episode number, I guess, 33. This is for the Parker League, like Tucson pastiche restaurant murder case that we did last week. But we don't have any lookup stuff because it's such a new story. There was so much information missing that I feel like we already had so many questions that are unanswered.
Pastiche?
Pastiche.
It's pastiche.
No, it's not. It's pastiche.
I say pastiche.
That might be a Chicago thing. Pastiche. Yeah. I also don't think that you always pronounce words correctly.
Maybe that's true. You're from Chicago. What do you know?
Can I at least give you an introduction before you start chit-chatting?
Sure.
You have to talk deep into the mic.
Awesome hero. Craftsman.
So, Jenna has been... Jack. Jenna.
Who the hell is Jack?
I don't know. Jenna has been...
Who the hell is Jack?
A little under the weather. So I'm at Mark's house right now on this Monday evening. And he is stepping in to do a bonus episode, which, like I said, will have no lookup list. But I do have a couple of... I have a little game. And I have a couple random questions. Tomorrow, you will hear... I say this on the episode that comes out tomorrow, which is a really good one. I'm excited about it. That me and Jenna are making an extreme effort to not, I'm trying to think how to say this properly, to not, to lessen the intro, to keep all the chit chat, a lot of the pre-banter listener questions and feedback and things like that. We're reverting back to how we originally did this. We're going to put it all back in the bonus. We're going to stay really clean with our just sense of place and jump right in, because I do recognize that there are people who are coming here just for true crime, not for me and Jenna.
Tight to the point.
Yes. And so we really are going to keep it to the point for the actual episodes. Bonus stuff will be a lot more banter and just looseness. Okay, should we start with a little game? It's a thinking game, though. Is your brain on?
That's pretty good
I don't know if you're going to be able to get this.
Oh, shit.
Okay.
No, yes, maybe.
Can you... Actually, let's start with warm-up questions. This will be better. Let's warm up. Is there anything you want to tell anybody about yourself?
Not so much.
Okay.
I like to keep it a mystery.
I talk about you often, so people already know a lot about you.
Like awesomeness and dopeness. Yeah,
amazingness.
That's perfect.
No, we're at Mark's house. We're not living together currently at the moment, but we are seeing each other.
We're in a relationship.
That's right. A relationship. Okay. If you suddenly had $5 million you had to give away, who would you give it to?
Oh, that's a pretty good question.
Mm-hmm. Deep breathing and deep thoughts. I mean, this is a really easy... the person is sitting in front of you, obviously.
I have to give it to you?
No.
I thought there was needy people and shit that I need to help out.
Well, you can give it to whoever you want, but I just feel duh.
Well, I mean, that question kind of presents okay, you're going to help out the homeless or people aren't getting
homeless
paid so
animals.
Much. Yeah, I mean, obviously I'd give
Charity.
it to you because then it would be a gift, and then I'm I don't even know her. It's fine. It's a gift, you know?
Then you don't have to pay taxes or something?
Yeah, exactly. Philanthropy or whatever.
So it's a very selfishly unselfish move.
I mean, there's very little selfless acts, you know?
That's true. Everybody does something to get something.
I do it. This is honestly what I do. Because you'd be happy. My mom would be happy. Jenna would be... Everybody would be happy.
If what?
I just give it to the animal shelter. It'd be here's $5 million, $2 million, whatever. Save the dogs, you know, save the animals.
If you gave it to me, we could just build our own animal shelter.
I know, but that means I have to build a bunch of stuff. So it's
no, we have $5 million. We'd hire people.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
I'd do it myself anyway.
If I had $5 million to give away, I would give it to myself, and then I would open up.
Well, wait, you can't give it to yourself. That's not giving it away.
Well, but I'd give it to myself to open up the animal sanctuary that I've always wanted to.
Charity.
I'd start a charity.
The Margot Fund.
No, it'd be an animal sanctuary where we welcome all animals, reptiles, birds, farm animals, cats, dogs, rats, like everything, and there'd be no capacity. Like I'd buy
So
a
it'd just be
bunch-
like an overrun mall.
I'd buy.
You know what I mean? Like they're
There's
they're
not-
everywhere. You know
There's
what I
not
mean?
animals in a mall, so
You're
I'm
all
not sure
termites
that-
and like wasps and shit. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't take those, but I would. Yeah, I'd buy a bunch of acres of land and build a bunch of different like structures and shelters and fenced areas, and I
Like
would,
the bird sanctuary.
and you know what I would like to do? I'd also like to have people who are called animal runners, and like let's say that it's obviously here in Tucson or somewhere in Arizona, and somebody in Texas is like, I just found a basket of puppies, and I don't know what to do with it. And the shelter here is overcrowded, and they can't take it. I would have one
so
of
you
my
send them
animal
with
runners
like a minivan to
in a
like go pick them
minivan.
up.
Yep, to go pick them up and bring them back. And it's a forever home. If we find a great adopted family, great. But otherwise, the animals can live there forever. There's no euthanasia, nothing.
You know what's so funny is like sometimes I say things and you're all, "That's why I love you so much," which is very sweet.
Mm-hmm.
That's one of the reasons the reason I say that is because the way that your brain works. You know what I mean? It's like you're not just thinking about like I'll send a minivan to like South Texas or
Yeah.
like Alaska to pick up like a couple kittens that were left on the side of the road.
Yeah,
That's
because
kind of cool.
like there's no like a lot of times shelters are full and they're like they turn people away, and like people in those situations they just dump those animals. They leave them outside. So I want to be like known as like, don't dump your animal. We'll come get it. You don't have to do anything. Like we will drive to you. We will pick it up. You never have to think of anything. Just please don't dump it outside. You know?
No, it totally makes sense.
I think that'd be
I was
awesome.
thinking about getting my pilot's license so like I could be like the Cessna.
Oh yeah, you could go. You could fly
like
and
a
pick
small
them up.
Alaska plane. Like
We
I
could, like,
just
go
fly
national.
in. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we could be national.
I just land
then.
on the freeway and pick up like a kitten. They're like, "This guy's dope." I'm all, "Oh, it's my girlfriend's thing," but like, I like
Yeah.
flying. You know what I mean?
That would be great.
The
I
cat's
like
all,
that.
"I've never been anywhere," but like, well, now you're in a plane, dude. I'm on. Your life's gonna
You
be
never know.
amazing.
That could happen. Maybe somebody will hear this and be like, "We'd like to fund that."
It'd be cool if it did. Like,
It'd be
I would totally
awesome.
get my pilot's license.
I wanted
for
to do that since I was like a very young child, like an animal sanctuary. And over the years, it's grown. Like I would love to have like a bunch of horses, cows, and stuff. And then I'd love to have like school age children be able to come for like a field trip and like learn how to be around animals. Like kids are sometimes scared of animals, and their parents don't like to have pets.
My nieces and nephews are scared. And my mom has like those little chihuahuas, like they're so small.
Yeah.
And they're like, "We're scared." I'm like,
Right.
even if they were like ravenous, like with rabies, like besides the rabies, like they really can't hurt you. It's
yeah,
like,
they're pretty small.
I mean, like, it's like,
But that's what I
you
mean.
can take like a Brillo pad and hit you a little harder.
How
you
cool
know?
to be able to like have kids come and like learn about animals, learn about how to take care of animals, to be like, I have so many ideas for it, and it would cost a lot of money. So if anybody out there is very, very wealthy and wants to fund my animal sanctuary, I will name it after you, and I will make it happen immediately. I do like to like get shit done, so I will do it.
I think it should be called the Margot Experiment.
No. No, I would never call it. I hate my name. I'd never do that.
It's like where to go, who goes, Margot's. Go to Margot's.
Jeez, your
Everybody
Your
goes.
brain does work really funny. What did you say today when we went to Costco? And I was like, "Wow, that brain."
Oh,
yeah.
it's because
yeah. Wait, let me tell. Okay, you tell.
Can I tell it?
You tell it.
There
Yeah.
was a Mini Cooper, and the license plate said DB Cooper, which is like the guy who jumped out of the plane, which
Right.
you like did a whole thing about.
Yeah, we had like a whole podcast that had to at the company I was at that had to do with this. So DB Cooper's been like a big like conversation in our lives for the past year.
Yeah, for sure. And
Yeah.
then like you took a picture, and I was like, "That's great." And I was like, "Do you think that's what they meant?" And she's like, "Of course." I was like, "Well, what if it was like Deborah and Brian, and they had a Cooper?" Like, it's because like like a lot of people don't know about DB Cooper.
Sure.
And like a lot of people will buy Mini Coopers. So like, oh, it's a cool thing. Like,
Yes,
maybe
but
they
like,
don't
I
know.
would
you know?
never, but like, I would, my brain would never, like, I saw that and I accepted that, like, DB Cooper, duh. This is about DB Cooper. And you saw that and your brain was like, yes. And also, maybe it's Deborah and Brian Cooper and they don't know like, it's so interesting that your brain, like, takes it that extra step. That's your, like, extra little bit of crazy
That's
that
a possibility.
I appreciate. I like it. I do enjoy it.
Plus, I didn't see like a parachute in the back seat, so I'm like, I don't know if they're that much into it, you know? Well, they're also at Costco, like bulk buying
Come on,
shit.
that's kind of funny though. DB Cooper on a Mini Cooper. It's clever.
I mean, it's a good idea.
Yeah.
It is clever.
What is the first thing that you usually read each day? First thing.
Text messages from you.
That's not true. Is that true? That's not true.
No, I mean, like, yeah, I look at, like, my phone. Like, that's the first thing I read, like, what's going on. It's usually my alarm clock. I'm like, son of a bitch, I have to get up.
Yeah, but you don't read your alarm clock. Do you read?
You are reading it. No, I'm not, like, reading the paper, you know?
No, I know that. The other day I said something and you were like, yeah, I'm not a big reader.
No, I'm not. I don't, like, read a lot of books. I like books on tape.
Did you ever read books when you were younger? Like, when you were a kid, did you like reading or no? A lot of people don't.
No, I really didn't. Like,
Yeah.
I was always, like, off, like, instead of reading
Getting
a book,
into
like,
trouble.
Yeah, exactly. You know, like, my brother, like, Mike was, like, you know, he's, like, more of a musician, so he's, like, playing with his guitar. Like, Kevin was always, like, doing artwork, and I was like, I'm going to go off in the desert and build shit or, like, find shit.
I mean, it kind of makes sense. That's who you are today as well.
Yeah, I always like to wander, you know? I'm all...
You are a wanderer.
I drove my mother crazy because she's like, reading. You know, you're 6 years old. You just like summertime. You're off school. You know, it's like I would just like get up early in the morning before everybody and just like go off into the desert. You know,
You are kind of a loner too.
and this is before cell phones, all that shit. So it's like
you're old.
They were just concerned. You know, they're like, oh shit, and I'd show up and like I was like my dad's like, what'd you do? Like your mother's going crazy. You know, I'm like, I found this like wood and I like. Went off over here and I thought it was cool. They're like, you've been gone for like 12 hours. I'm like, I'm still here. It's fine.
Yeah, you are a survivor. That's for sure.
That's fun.
Yeah. I loved reading. I read all the time. I still love reading.
But I think the most important thing is like from like reading some, just like the news, like what's happening, like see what's going on. Like
I don't read the news. I mean, I do sometimes, but not really. I'd say email is the first thing I read each day. Like I'll check my email usually.
I mean, it's usually work related for me. It's like, oh, hey, there's a problem. It's like, okay, great.
Yeah,
I'll take care of that, you know?
You want to tell everybody what you do?
I'm a construction superintendent.
Superintendent. I always say supervisor. Well, I often say electrician because you are that as well. And you are also a woodworker.
Yes.
I've talked about that on here.
But my current job is that I supervise
big construction jobs.
Yeah, the building of a, you know, apartment building or a hospital.
That's what you're doing next, right?
Yeah, it's going to be an apartment building.
Yeah, here. And so we have a lot of Tucson listeners, actually. So any Tucson listeners, can I say this? That's okay, right?
Yeah, it's not like illegal or anything.
It's not like you're not like under an NDA.
No.
For any Tucson listeners, you know, the Foothills Mall up at Ina and La Cholla or something?
That's right.
It was torn down several months ago, I guess. And yeah, Mark's gonna be part of the crew that is like building it and turning it into like a work, live, play place, right? Like apartment buildings, with like businesses on the bottom.
The original start of it is a multifamily complex, which is apartment buildings.
Right.
And below is going to be shops. And I believe there's 2 hotels and, you know, multiple restaurants and stuff.
It's kind of nice. Foothills Mall was kind of crappy, and it's a nice area, so that makes more sense to me.
It always has been, even though like everything grew here.
Wait, did they tear down the Barnes and Noble?
No,
me and my mom used to go there all the time.
Believe it or not, through all the things like when,
that's still there.
You know when like Amazon was selling books, like it destroyed Barnes and Noble. Like that thing still survived. That's the only thing. They demoed the mall that was attached to it. They removed it all. It's still saying there's like Whiskey Roads, which is like a restaurant that's gonna stay. And there's some newer shops down the way they're going to stay, but everything in the movie theater. Like all those, like, all the weird like pandemic things that should have died, they're going to still survive. Now
I'm going to go to Barnes and Noble tomorrow. I love nothing more than a bookstore. Like I love a bookstore. You know that for fun, like our like treat when we were kids, like our like reward for having doing our tours or whatever, was to go to Crown Books it was in a suburb of, we grew up in Chicago, everybody knows, but like in Lincolnshire, it would be to go to Crown Books. I think it was actually in Vernon Hills on a Saturday or Sunday with my dad. And we would go in the front door and my dad would like go to the adult section. He'd be like, meet me back here in an hour.
You mean the adult section, like the porno section? With the black curtain and shit? He's all be in here.
It's a bookstore.
Asking your mom for nickels and shit. He's all, I'm going in there.
No, he went to like the
like normal reading section.
reading section for human adults, and he would tell us like be back here in an hour, and me and Jen would go. I go to like the teen section, Sweet Valley High and R.L. Stein and stuff, and she'd go to the kids section, and I could like spend a full day in there just like reading the backs of books and picking out different books, and I loved the way it smelled. And then I'd like sit in the corner and start reading the book. I would always pick out too many books, and I'd go back and I'd have like 8 books in my hand. He'd be like, "You can only get 5. Like put some back."
And you were like purchasing them, right?
Yeah, purchasing. Well, that's why I have so many books.
Yeah. Well, like when I was a kid, like we used to go to like the public library, and like it was like, okay, like every couple of weeks we get, you like rent the books and like bring them back.
That's actually.
And so like. This was like actually like what happened when I was like 6, 7, 8. You know what I mean? Like my books would be like Garfield. You know what I mean? I love Garfield. Like that cat. He's like a badass.
Don't
like,
you love my cat then? He's a big orange cat.
Yeah, he looks like Garfield. That's why I love him.
Yeah.
What's his name? Gunther. Like we don't really know what his name is, but he's a he, her. It doesn't matter.
Cat.
He's just cat.
Yeah, he's cat.
But like literally the librarian, it's like, okay, there's a little kid. Garfield makes sense. And then like, why does he have these popular mechanics books?
Really?
Yeah, because that's like, I remember my dad like, because like he went to school for architecture and stuff like that. It's like, I remember going to the library. And it's like popular mechanics was a cool book because it's like how to build like a staircase, and like it was like all like a whole diagram. You could just like get it there.
Wow.
So I'd have like Garfield books and like how to build something.
That like explains. I mean, that kind of perfectly explains
lot,
who you are today.
Kind of an idiot, and I can build a lot of shit.
No, you're not an idiot, but you're like kind of like. I don't know.
I always wanted to build stuff, and I identified with that cat. He just like sat there and he was like.
You remember he'd like stuff a whole lasagna in his mouth. I remember
exactly.
the cartoon.
Like, he's such an indulgent character.
Yes,
you know what I mean?
You are kind of indulgent when it comes to food as well.
I love a food.
Yeah, you're very good. Mark is a very, very good cook. I would almost go as far as to say chef. Like you're quite good.
Hands.
You and Michael are both very talented cooks. Me and Jenna are better bakers, I think.
Oh, you guys are great bakers. You're
we
like,
both
to
bake
make a
really
cake.
well.
It's like amazing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I posted the cake that I made for you for your birthday.
The strawberry cake's so good. By the way, listeners, you ever want like the best strawberry like shortcake cake?
Yeah. Oh, I have a great recipe. Yeah, I'll give it to you. It's really good. Yeah, me and Mark just had birthdays. Our birthdays are 3 days apart. Weirdly, we're both Leos, which makes a lot of sense because we're both kind of loud, obnoxious people.
I mean, say it for yourself.
I mean, I'll say it for you too because you are too. But yeah, we just had birthdays and we had lovely birthdays.
Had some sushi.
Yeah, you did great on my birthday. I posted the gifts you got me on our Patreon, and I want to say Jane, who also suggested tomorrow's episode, she wrote and she said she loves the store where you got me gift card. Like I've never been there. I looked online, like everything is $1,000 billion. It's a very expensive store.
Oh, I know. That's why the gift card's more pricey.
How much is it? I don't even know.
It's a lot. I won't tell you.
Okay, can you tell me off the air because like I can't pick something out. Yeah, offline. I can't pick something out unless I know how much it is because I was like, well, this is $50 and like that. Okay, then I'm gonna like get this. You know what I mean? Okay. I feel like this is a question that you won't even want to answer. Pretend you magically, because you don't do this anyway, pretend you magically never had to do any more housework of any kind. Are there any tasks that you would honestly miss doing? I mean, let's be honest. Do you do housework? I'm sorry.
I maintain my house.
You do. You're right. You do. You're like when the dishes have to be done, like they're going to explode out of the kitchen, like you do them.
I generally do them pretty. That's unreasonable.
Okay, yeah, you do.
I just have kind of a bachelor life sometime. I'm busy. I work a lot,
You do. But are there any if you never had to do anything, you never had to do dishes, laundry?
Dusting. That's the only thing.
You would miss dusting?
No. That's
the
the one
question.
I hate the most.
Are there any tasks you would miss if you never had to do any of them again? Would you miss any?
Probably. I guess it would be doing the dishes. Like I feel like it's an accomplishment. You're clean. You're like, ooh, ate.
I love doing gratification.
Yeah, well, it's like dishes are like the best to do dishes. It's after a good meal with friends. Like it's like a montage. Like, hey, everybody's listening to music and shit. Like, someone's scrubbing and like someone's throwing it over to you. You're like loading it in the dishwasher. Someone's like, hey, you shouldn't load it like that. It's
like Back to the Future. Like you really want that to happen, don't you?
It's the power of dishes. Grew up watching that shit. It's so fucking dope.
I love that movie. I would miss vacuuming. I love vacuuming. And it's weird because when I was younger, my parents had this red dirt devil, like with a
with the old bag, like a real industrial one.
It's kind of like the shop vac, but like smaller and more householdy. It's not like a carpet
it's a
vacuum.
stand-up vacuum, right?
No, it's not like that vacuum that you have. It's it's got like the hose and the this. It's
But
like
it
a
had
hardwood
like the can.
Yeah, but it has like a hardwood floor. It's like the shop vac, but the base of it is smaller. Anyways, that was my chore always. And when I didn't do it, my dad, John would get like very fucking mad at me. He would like come wake me up like, you didn't vacuum enough. You didn't vacuum properly. I still see, dog hair, whatever. And I was like, ugh, I fucking hated it. And now I vacuum almost every day. Like, I love it. It's so great to like see a dirty floor and then like clean it up. And on carpet, forget it. Then you get those lines and stuff. I love it, which is so weird because I hated it as a kid.
So what would you miss the most?
Vacuuming.
Well,
I actually love doing dishes too.
But you like vacuuming, like, but now you're over it?
No, I would miss vacuuming. That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
If I could never vacuum again, I would miss that.
Perfect. Like, keep doing it.
And I would also miss dishes probably. Okay, we're going to wrap this up really soon. I want to see if you can get any of these weird game. I gave these to Joe and Oliver on a podcast one time. I actually have this board game. It's Neil Patrick Harris's game, Amazed. And I think I've asked Jenna some of these questions probably in the past.
Wait a minute, is it Amazed like Neil Patrick? It's like the
Neil Patrick Harris made a board game.
Yeah, I know. It's like
Yeah,
so
I have
confusing.
it.
There's no like right or wrong answers. It's weird.
No, there are right or wrong answers. We've never like played it. Also, you know what we played last night, guys? If anybody's looking for a really fun game, this came from Jason I used to work with. Love him. When me and Jenna went to stay with him in California, we played Code Names. And then when we got back, I immediately bought it. I'm not going to get into explaining it, but if anybody's looking for like a fun adult, it's not like adult, like it's not dirty, but it's hard.
It's really
tough.
Really what it is that you like. So when we played it last night, like, Margot and her sister are sisters, obviously, but we're both with the sisters. Me and my best friend Michael.
Right. So weird.
Like we like team up and like. Last night was actually kind of a rarity with you two.
Yeah, you guys won both games.
Because I think like Jenna got too drunk or you got too drunk because like you guys are like on it. She's like, you're like pencil and she's like 9 different things. I'm like, how do you? So remember that time we were like in junior high and like that pencil happened and we were both doing our makeup.
We got too
like,
far
Jesus,
into it.
yeah,
we did. Yeah, you did.
But like
you
me and
guys
Mike were all, yeah, we understand like the
did.
movie that we watched like back in the day. Like we're right there,
You did good.
We rocked you last night. Really good for us.
I don't know if I've ever said that like you and I have known each other for what, 12 years?
Something like that. Yeah.
But
really known each other for 2 years.
Right. Like we've only, known each other for 2 years. But like I was married before and I was living in Atlanta and I'd come back here to visit. And I don't remember if I lived here when I first met you or not, but like when Jenna started dating Michael, then you were Michael's best friend. And so you were also part of the picture and like part of life. And I remember like meeting, I'd go to hang out with Jenna when I was visiting, like you'd be there. And like, you were always really fun. It was always like, fun, Mark. Like, you're so funny. You made me laugh all the time. I like enjoyed your company so much. And I will say that like the Friendsgiving we had at Fred's house.
Yeah, that was
I was married. I think you were, I don't know if you were single or dating somebody. I don't really remember. But it was you, me, Jenna, Michael, and Fred. We had like Thanksgiving, but just for us, Western style.
Like cowboys,
yeah, we all dressed up like cowboys and cowgirls. I will say that night, like we flirted a lot.
Yeah, it makes sense. I'm really attractive, I remember I was like, Jesus, this cowgirl's going crazy,
Stop it. No, I always enjoyed your company. We had a really good time, and it's so interesting that I've known you for so long. Like you've been part of like family dinners and holidays. Like you've been around for years and years, part of like involved with my family. And then after 10 years, obviously the timing was just right. Like a while after I moved here, we just hung out. You picked me up one day in the Jeep.
I was like, let's go for a ride.
Yeah, like out of nowhere, he just stopped by my house. I didn't really know anybody here except for Jenna and my dad and Michael. And then you stopped by my house. You're like, let's go for a ride, which I generally would have been like horrified at because I was in workout clothes. I had no makeup on. I was like so uncomfortable. And I was like, fuck it. It's just Mark. Like, it's fine.
Just Mark, you know?
That's right. That's what Jason used to call you. It's just Mark. Because he was like, what do you mean you're dating somebody when we started dating? I was like, I don't know. It's just Mark. Like, we'll see what happens.
That was my
it's
name
casual.
forever, Just Mark.
Just Mark. That's right. I forgot about that. Because anytime I would say, I was like, well, it's just Mark. Like, I've known you forever. We're just like casually dating. And then it turned not casual pretty quickly.
You made it serious.
You made it serious by finding the dog.
I mean, the dog was going to be like,
Yeah,
it's
that
like the
was
Margot Foundation. Like, I couldn't leave like my neighbor's all, this dog, like, I don't know what to do with it. I'm like, well, you can't leave it out here.
Yeah. She was
like,
so
well, bring her in.
little.
She was so small. So
Yeah, she was so sweet.
Indiana.
Okay.
Sweetest
Indiana.
dog ever.
Okay, let me ask you like 2 of these game questions and we'll wrap it up. And maybe I'll do an extra bonus by myself because I have a lot of listener feedback. I got some great stuff from our listener here. I just have a lot of listener stuff, but I'm not going to get into it because Mark won't understand it. So I'm going to ask you 1 or 2 of these game questions and then we will call it a night because we are going to have a charcuterie. Ooh, that was so like my voice did a weird thing. Charcuterie board for dinner. Okay. What is black when you buy it, red when you use it, and gray when you throw it away?
Charcoal.
What the fuck? You've heard that?
No, I just know everything.
You've heard that before.
No, I've heard that before.
Oh my God. I was going to say.
Make sense, yeah.
That's ridiculous. Okay. Can you name 3 consecutive days without using the words Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, or Sunday?
So no weekdays, but 3 consecutive days.
No, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, or Sunday, but name 3 consecutive days.
Ooh.
Gotta get clever on this one.
Yeah. Christmas Day. No, Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, and New Year's Day.
Those aren't consecutive.
Oh, yeah, you're
Boxing Day would be consecutive.
Oh, Boxing Day.
But that's not it. But that was actually really clever. That was
What's
good.
the answer? Like, do you have
Yesterday, today, tomorrow.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I forgot about that. It's more simple than I thought.
What is always coming but never arrives? This is another one, kind of like the one we just had.
Always coming but never arrives. A storm? I don't know. Like what?
Tomorrow.
Oh, tomorrow.
Okay.
I've been drinking, by the way.
Oh, I like this one. What has a soul but doesn't live and has a tongue but can't taste?
It's a shoe.
Oh, you've heard that too.
No, it just makes sense.
No, you've heard that. What 3-letter word will change young into old? It's like a super literal one. 3-letter word changes young into old.
Age?
Yes.
That makes sense.
You never heard that. You really did just guess that. That was really good. I'm impressed with it.
I'm so proud of myself.
Okay, last one. 2 fathers and 2 sons go to see a movie. However, they only buy 3 tickets. How is that possible?
2 fathers and 2 sons. Well, because you have a father and a son, and then that father has a son, but they're all fathers, you know?
Right. So it's a grandfather, a father, and a son. Yeah,
Yeah,
you got it right. Wow. Shit. Your brain works a little bit more, even better than I thought. No, I'm kidding. I love your brain. Your brain works really interestingly.
So did your babe. It sounded weird, but it's very
It
intelligent.
sounded weird. Thank you. All right. Well, we're going to wrap it up because we're going to eat dinner and Mark has to wake up at like 4:00 in the morning to go to work. So it's 8:30. Please be aware that I am not listening to this or editing it before I post it. I'm going to take it out of our recorder and post it because it's already very late. So please be gentle when listening in case there's anything that sounds, not great or we ramble or whatever. But this was nice. Thank you for doing this with me. Jenna is going to be unavailable for a period of time next month, and I might need you to do an actual episode with me.
I'm down for that.
Okay.
I thought we were going to talk about your watch list TV shows that we've been watching.
Oh, yeah. Okay, fine. That's right. Okay. So me and Jenna each on the bonus episodes, we've been giving our top TV picks. We talked about The Bear a bunch. We love The Bear. And you and me talked about that on our cooking thing.
We were watching it. Hands.
Yeah. Hands. Chef. Cousin. Okay. And so, but also, I said, embarrassingly, I've been rewatching Desperate Housewives. So what are you watching? I mean, we watch a lot together, but what are you watching?
There's a brand new show that was out, and it's pretty intense. It's called Lost.
No,
and there's a plane crash. I'm just kidding.
Jenna talked about Lost, I think, on the last bonus episode and said, if you haven't watched it, you need to watch it.
No, we were watching The Bear, which is pretty
Great.
Cool. It's very hectic. You said it immediately when we started watching it. You're all, it's going to be hectic. I was like, I had a hard day at work. You're all, just power through.
Yeah.
Everybody's all yelling at each other, hands and chef and all this stuff. It's whoa.
Yeah, it is a lot.
But we were watching.
Great.
Hijack was pretty interesting.
Yes, I don't think we've talked about that. I like that with Idris Elba. I think it's pretty good on Apple.
It's a pretty good show.
Apple TV. Yeah. Okay. What else? What did I make you watch today?
Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
No, we watched that for easy watching.
What else were we watching today?
Full Circle.
Oh yeah, the Full Circle. That's that show's weird.
It is weird.
It's kind of I don't know. I don't know how to take it yet. I can tell you it's interesting, but
you're only on episode 3.
Yeah, but I'm still what's still trying to gauge it.
Yeah, it's kind of like a dark crime thriller. Would you call it?
Yeah, it's kind of it's crime, but there's a little bit of comedy. It's I don't know. It's strange. It's unique.
Strange.
It's unique. I haven't seen
it's a unique
lot
show.
like it.
It's Claire Danes and Timothy Oliphant, who I really like.
Don't put Dennis Quaid's in it.
Oh yeah, Dennis Quaid's in it. That's right. Yeah,
weird.
he's great. He has a French braid and a ponytail.
Yeah,
it's weird.
Like a ponytail.
Yeah, it's an interesting show. It's on Max. Which I really don't want to say that.
HBO.
Yeah, it's HBO. I hate saying Max. It's so
we're not gonna
How many times has HBO now, HBO then, HBO?
Just call it HBO.
It's just
HBO.
HBO.
Box office. It's what it was.
So much better.
But you know what that I have been rewatching is Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
Mm-hmm.
Is hilarious, and what's funny is my best friend Michael, how we all know each other.
Yeah, Jenna's husband.
Yes, is that. She introduced that show, which is totally our flavor of comedy. But she's like, "Have you guys ever seen this?"
And who introduced it to her?
You in Greece.
Mm-hmm. When we were in Greece, I introduced it to her, and we introduced it to all of the other students that we were with. And
but if you're a Family Guy, Simpsons, any of that kind of genre,
kind of raunchy.
Yeah, it's. I think it's the best.
Yeah, I do too. I think it's amazing. And I love that they write it and star in it. That's a lot of talent. First of all, they're all best friends. 2 of them are married. And the fact that they actually write the show, or at least they did in the at least he did in the beginning. Yeah. That they write it and then they're all best friends acting in it. It's cool. I love it. I think it's pretty spectacular. And I haven't even seen all of the most recent seasons, but it is pretty funny. I like it.
Great show.
Okay, good. Top TV picks. Glad to get them. Thank you. All right. We will sign off. And since Jenna's not here, I will say what she always says on our bonus episodes, which is hug your loved ones. And definitely tune in tomorrow. The new episode tomorrow will drop later in the day, but it will be out tomorrow, and it is a really good one. I am excited about it. And Mark, thank you for doing this. You will be back.
Thanks for having me on.
You're welcome.
It's a real pleasure to be here.
You just like hearing yourself in the mic, in the headphones.
It.
I know. But you'll come back maybe for. Jenna's unavailable for that week or two next August. I'm gonna maybe need some bonus episodes and some real episodes from you.
I have to check with Letterman and Jimmy Kimmel and stuff to see if I'm available.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
I got some drops going on.
All right. Okay. Thanks for doing this. Thank you guys for listening, and see you guys soon. Bye.
Later.